I just want to say, mate, as a NRL fan all my life and, also a massive advocate for mental health, I'm so excited by today's discussion. Winning grand finals, being part of the Queensland dynasty, representing Australia, representing the Indigenous community in games as well. Mate, is there one thing that you go, I'm most proud of in my NRL career?
What game stood out the most? It was definitely my debut game for Melbourne Storm. It was round 5, round 6. No, round 5, 2005. So it's just an atmosphere that down there at the old Olympic Park that you just can't explain.
Can you just share with us, where you grew up and how it all started?
It's going to be funny. I just grew up on the other side of the Tweed River in Queensland. But no, it all started in a small town. I was born in Kempsey and moved over to Barraville. And, that's my old man down in the left-hand side of the picture. Dad's always been my hero playing footy. Grew up at Maxwell, played for Barraville Junior Tigers. And, I just want to go back and, just go back into our community or my community too. I'm a proud Dungutty man from the Kempsey area.
Tell us about the journey to Sydney, mate, because you came down at, how old were you?
Went down to Newcastle just at the end of the age of 15. So caught a train down there by myself, lived in a hostel with a couple of cousins of mine and went to Hunter Sports High. But when I was 15, I was also playing under 18s back home. So,
were you?
I was playing junior league on a Saturday for Barraville, and then I was backing up playing for Maxwell Seagulls on the Sunday.
Talking about NRL, like everyone thinks that the NRL players are just nothing goes wrong mentally or anything like that. But going through your whole career, what were some of the things that were the challenges that you faced in your NRL career?
Well, like I spoke about, it's just moving away from home, but that was a dream that I wanted it. And, mum and dad always told me that, from early age, that's just what I wanted to do. And with injuries, for me, I just got on with the game.
Yeah.
The worst part of the injuries is the length of injuries and how bad they are. This is the ACL one. This is the one which pretty much brought everything else to a halt. With this picture here, I've got no MCL and no PCL in both knees. But I had operation on my neck, operation on my hips. I've had shoulder operations. Yes. There's no doubt there was some days where I was, down, but and just didn't want to do anything or go there. I just wanted to, do nothing. But I didn't realize then until, like I said, until I did my ACL, and then I went and seeked help, and then I got diagnosed with bipolar 2, a mood disorder, anxiety and depression.
What were some of the signs that you started to notice within yourself that your mental health wasn't right? Like, were you moody? Or is it just because of the bipolar you were just up and down and couldn't control it?
Quiet, drinking, and I'm talking not just drinking, a couple of glasses at dinner. It was like 2 bottles of wine at home and taking painkillers, and then just sort of seeing this spiral. And to be honest, if I kept going the way I was, who knows if I would have been sitting here chatting about it today or started up my academy. Was
it hard to be able to share your feelings and your emotions, or to be able to just make that first step?
I blame my dad for that. So he was just who he was, but he grew up in that era as well where you just get on with it.
Mate, I am so excited by what's next. And, at the end of the video, the journey hasn't stopped. You're very passionate about the Goanna Academy. Can you give everyone a bit of an understanding about what the Goanna Academy is all about?
First of all, I'll give you an understanding of where the Goanna actually come from. Like I said, I'm a proud Indigenous man, but it came from a bet from my cousin about a try celebration. And he was asking me to do something, and I said, well, what would you like me to do? And he said, do a backflip. I said, man, I can't do that. I'll end up falling on my back. Front flip, cartwheel. It's like, Anthony Mundy and Nathan Blacklock,
Already done.
They already done that. So it's that do a Goanna, and it was just perfect timing. Scored. It was at Penrith, and I scored, and thinking
It was an epic one too, mate. I still remember that shot. It was an epic.
Yeah. But I still haven't seen that $50 yet. So the whole point of the Goanna Academy is one because of that there, and two, it was just so I can share my story. I don't want to share your story. I don't want to share my family story. I just want to share my story and how I went through it and how I approached it in different ways. Everyone's different. Everyone's got different backgrounds of life and what they can go through, and that's what I said at the start of this chat room. Hopefully, something I said or something can trigger them and help them in a certain way. I just put out a little quick link about we're coming home, and Australia's just got out of first bit of lockdown, and guys are going back. Not guys, just the people are going back into work now. So it's called. I just put it out and I named it "Expect the Unexpected" because we've been in lockdown for so long. So going here instead of doing Zoom or face this air, you're actually sitting there doing face-to-face meetings. So it's having fun with the kids first. This is from under sixes. I got hired 4-year-olds sign up. That was my first game playing under sevens. I was 4 years old. So I was getting the juniors there, and we break them up in the groups, in the age groups. Goes for about two hours. And then it's about an hour and a half, I think. Then we give them a feed, a barbecue afterwards. And then, like I said, we take them over and have a good chat about it. But I think it's that's vitally important, but also I think it's even more important to have a chat with the adults and the parents as well to help them understand.
I think that's brilliant, Greg.
This is my passion, like I said before. This is what I'm thinking about, and I think mental health is a big thing, and there's one thing that I always speak about, especially when you're about to share the link to it, is you got to break the stigma about it, and have a conversation about it. But the changes in students after the sessions that I've had, they just
transformed.
None of them have asked, and every kid that I've spoken to, once I give them my story, never asks one question about rugby league or football.
Don't they?
Nothing related.
From the outside, the NRL and other codes seem to support mental health issues with players much better than in the past. But are there things they could improve on, in your opinion?
Speaking about it, talking about it. That's
being more open.
Yeah, be more open about it. Like, yes, like I think Are You OK Day happened, I think, a few weeks ago. There's more businesses, there's more schools and that want this, and they can see it because there was 1 in 5, especially in Indigenous communities. There was about 1 in 5 kids that had some kind of mental illness, and I think it's dropped down to 1 to 3 with COVID. So that's just with everything
scary.
With everything else that's going on in this world. It's hard to put into words or hard to actually talk about. But for me, it's trying to understanding it, all the mental health side of it.